Okay, we back. What the hell? Get off the screen. Welcome back to another episode of 31 Sins, BBT Paranormal Podcast. And this is our post-game podcast for... Did she freeze?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, this is typical. It's our post-game podcast for our
Tiffany
recent investigation at the Indiana State Sanatorium, which I will start off by saying was a hell of a time. Shout out and thanks to Paranormal Girls ... and Tim and the Tennessee Shadow Chasers for hanging out. Got to meet them. Super cool. There she goes again.
What is she doing?
I have no idea. Fuck it, we're doing it live.
No girls allowed.
Should still be able to get back in here. Hopefully. But yeah, shout out to them. Special thanks to Paranormal Girls ... and Tim for setting the whole thing up. And we're waiting for Tiffany. Oh,
Love it here.
there she is. You good?
I don't know. I thought I was before, and I wasn't.
Did you turn it off, turn it back on again?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to them. Had a great time. This is where we talk about the stuff that we experienced while we were there. Boy, was it a lot.
Pretty cool.
Agreed?
I mean,
It was awesome.
we're maybe technically an hour, maybe two into our investigations. We found so much already, just in the
Yeah.
morgue alone.
Yeah. Yeah. We there's one thing that I want to talk about so bad, but I want to wait. But
Well, I want to just let Tim know, if he's watching this, that I had every intentions of skinwalker hunting with him. Somehow we just got kind of separated. They wanted a time when the ground was super soft. There's no way I was walking on that. I was gonna sink, and I wanted to, but things started picking up pretty fast in the morgue too, and it was kind of like then the night was just gone.
yeah.
But as soon as she broke down Skinwalker, I think Tim had just as much interest as I did.
Well, no, I was the last time I was there, we heard a similar noise. We kind of chalked it up as like deers that were scared. They make a noise. Closest thing we could find. But now, they didn't say shit at all about skinwalkers or shapeshift. None of that stuff when I was there. So the fact she said that, I got overly excited.
Yeah, she gave us a couple different locations to look at, and it was kind of like, let's do this. But those bugs were eating us alive. Thank God for the bug spray, even though we all got diarrhea after. There's our poop talk. I mean, it did. We were all dying.
I mean, I smacked my glasses clear across the driveway, so
True.
Yeah.
that was before
Oh,
everything even
wait till you
started.
see that intro. Hey, Misty.
It's entertaining.
Yeah, love that. But yeah, we started the night off meeting the awesome teams. Apparently, one of them couldn't make it, which is unfortunate. We did have full intentions on kind of collabing with both teams. Like John said, it kind of just escalated from the get-go. I thought we were all going in together. To be fair, I thought we were all going in together, and then next thing I know, I think we were the only ones in there, and then we just lost track of everyone.
We're in the morgue. It's in there saying my name. It's saying your. Did it say your name too, or?
No, they're not mine. No,
Oh.
that was Cambria. It said mine.
It just said God. That was all. All right.
Shit. Yeah. Okay. Give me a God complex. There you go.
No, it was. It took off. It got pretty big. The only thing is, it was so much action. We never got everywhere. We didn't make it to all the buildings.
Told you.
It was.
It's too big. There's too much ground to cover
It's
to
awesome.
get everything in one fell swoop. We didn't do the underground the tunnels,
No.
and that was solely
You
because
said not to, but you didn't go into full detail why.
the bats.
Oh.
Well, that didn't make
Okay.
much of a difference anyways, now did it?
No, it didn't. It didn't. But being in an enclosed space like that, our chance of survival was
I mean,
much
Dougie just
lower.
wants to say hi.
But no, it was when I think we were passing by Paranormal Girls, dot dot dot, and Tim, and that they said like stay out of the tunnels. There's bats everywhere, and one got dive bombed, got hit in the head or something. I was like,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
good. We're
We
good.
almost got smoked. I felt it breeze past my face, and you turned around, and right when you were turning, it just like woof, right past
Mm-hmm.
your head. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Holy shit! This thing's out to get us."
Yeah. So that was right there. We were like, you know what? We're not gonna go into the tunnels. We're good.
No rabies tonight.
Plus, she was talking about snakes and shit being all up in there, and yeah, it's one thing to run around after ghosts. I'm not trying to run away from, you know,
Snakes, just kick them.
nature.
Smack them. No
Fucking
snakes.
snakes, bats, and skinwalkers. Yeah, that's not. Yeah. But yeah, so we started off the night in the morgue. We did a nice little
Well, let's start
45-minute session.
with the lady breaking down everything to us. We learned a lot that she debunked, though.
But yeah, I was gone for all that. I stepped out.
Yeah.
So all the mediums and they stepped outside. The rest of us were in there, and she was giving us a rundown. And then the first thing, in fact, I have my little map here with the sightings of all the different skinwalker locations. But the first thing she said that she wanted to debunk right off the bat was a lot of people say there's been 10,000 deaths in this place. And she said it was shooting on the high side, being generous, was closer to 3,000. That it was not accurate. Most of it was during tuberculosis, but how long that building's been up and running, that's where a lot of other ones came over time. So there's a lot of old people there. But she squashed that real fast. And then the other thing she squashed was the murder suicide.
So that one took me because I remember hearing the exact story that we kind of heard before of the murder suicide. Right, the why of the situation altered a little bit to where it was a promotion. One maintenance guy was jealous of the other, right? Killed himself, and then one was somebody was sleeping with the girlfriend of the other guy. That was a story we heard. But yeah, we were dropped a bombshell by the guide there. And her name skips my brain for some reason. Can't remember what her name was. Crap.
Nothing.
There's my asshole moment. But she, yeah, what did she tell us? We were in the spot. We were in the spot, and she walked up. She's like, "All right, you want to hear some?" And we're like, "Yeah, of course."
She thinks it was all planted. So like when I guess there was a third guy that a week beforehand they had an argument and a fight somewhere in the maintenance area, and when they found him dead, the way he was laying down, he was on top of a rifle, which if anyone shoots guns knows that recoils is either real or not real depending on the caliber of the gun. But it would have to be a really small barrel for it to have a chance of landing the way he was perfectly on it to where the police didn't see it. And then it found out that a third guy that they were arguing with who came into the picture, they all got, pretty big into drugs. And it was like just a falling out that just turned bad. But just murder, maybe not a suicide. That she was really adamant about that too.
Yeah, I think the third guy knew the higher ups.
Yes.
Within the building and stuff, and she made a lot of great points. Like you said, if you were to off yourself with the rifle, the chances of you falling right on top of it, very slim.
Very slim. Because if you're going to shoot it and you're that weak to where a rifle like that's going to make you go backwards, you're going to fall backwards and you're not going to have that gun just randomly fall and then your body rolls on it. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. I also picture once you pull that trigger, that rifle is going to kind of go backwards too.
Well, it goes into, depending on what caliber, right? It'll hit your shoulder and go into it. But if you fall back and you're still holding it, and let's say, even if you don't have a strap on, you're still holding it, your fingers are going to be inside where the trigger is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to, if your arm happens to hit that way and you roll, it's going to hold your arm back. It's not, you'd have to have some intense shot to where you spin and then all of a sudden you change your hands, take it out of the trigger area, and then you fall down on it.
Yeah.
It would be
very slim. So much so that she said that the police showed up and thought there was an active shooter because they never found a gun until they rolled the guy over. So this thing was clearly fully underneath him. But yeah, the murder suicide now leaning more towards double homicide,
Yeah.
which
That disappeared.
yeah, that third person I guess will never know the whole story. But interesting little tidbit there.
Was
Which
there
is-
another? Oh, I think the Bigfoot thing she was debunking. So, I don't, but some people like to group Bigfoot in with skinwalkers. It's not the same thing. You can argue, it's your opinion, do what you got to do. I'm in one ear out the other. That's just how dead set I am on it. But then she debunked Bigfoot, even though there's another town nearby, and there's also one in Illinois that claim a lot of Bigfoot sightings and all that. But she debunked that, but she was saying that a guy who's a pretty good tracker hunter who comes out there all the time and gets it says he swears up and down that he saw it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, cool, but I just don't see Bigfoot going where skinwalkers are at. That's like,
But the stories
Godzilla
about the
randomly showing
skinwalker.
up, Power Rangers. No,
The story about the skinwalkers was pretty cool. About the one guy that was driving down the road, and it had just snowed, so fresh snow back there. He saw something literally dart across the road into the nurses area, the nurses building, the hospital, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, he said that he's a tracker. Got out and there was no footsteps in the snow, fresh snow or nothing. But saw this thing dart across the road and go right into that building. Creepy.
yeah, it was back by the power plant. You know where we were going in at first for the morgue? He darted coming from the woods behind the nurse's home, going towards the power plant where we were parked at. So, but she was adamant that whole area back there. But it's funny though, because like, if you think about it, when we drove around, walked around, any type of touring thing or anything like that, we saw animals, but we didn't see them over there. We did not see them over there. We saw them on the road going up to Adams Hall, like the way we took to get out of the place. But like you pointed out, deers are on one side, but not the other side.
Yeah.
And then going the other way, where you took the long way to go past like the doctor's bungalows and the mansion and all that. We saw like rabbits and birds.
Yeah.
When you go back over there, we didn't see shit.
And just a little tidbit, when I was there last and we heard that noise, it was right out there by the water tower. That's where we heard it. A lot of shit was lining up, especially after she said Skinwalker. Hey, Tanya. So, Tiff, what do you think?
I think the
What'd you
place is
feel?
freaking awesome. The nurse's station was probably my favorite part. There was a lot that obviously happened that I'm not trying to give away a ton of stuff, but it was freaking really active and just awesome all around.
Yeah,
I
It
mean,
almost made our night shit.
it did.
yeah.
It did. So we'll get to that. A little teaser. We start off at the morgue. First off, kudos to them for getting that room cleaned up. That thing was a mess when I was there last. It was just to the roof, to the ceiling, with boxes and boxes of paperwork that were just thrown all over the place. Said you couldn't even walk 2 feet into that room last time. The fact that they got it that clean, completely emptied out. We actually got to set up and do, like I said, I think it was like a 45-minute little session there, and we got some activity, some crazy activity. What did we capture?
Yeah, God, I wish I didn't forget my camera that night. Oh, that really pissed me off.
Let's rip the Band-Aid off 15 minutes into this. John forgot his camera.
Well, the main camera, but at
Not
least
the
I
end
had
of the
other
world.
one. It was
Yeah.
terrible. We missed so much. We could have had more angles and shit.
You know what? That just shows it. We're true and real.
Yeah.
We don't have people that bring our equipment to us. We
Not
bring it
now.
ourselves. We're in charge of it ourselves. We forget shit. Happens. Yes. What happened in the morgue? We'll give them little tidbits here, because once the video comes out, they can go back and compare it to what we're saying now.
Well, we all felt something in the morgue. When we were in the morgue, it was kind of like you could like literally just like, okay, it's cold over here, and then right when I'm pointing, devices are going off at the same time, and then I just call our other device, Tiffany. I'm like, here, come over here. What do you feel? And then we backed off, and we had all kinds of contraptions in there, and some were going like crazy, some weren't, but it was like it felt like when things were coming and going. But before I pass it off to Tiffany for her ways. Hey, no. They'll see the video and know what I'm saying. I think that when it said out to the right and then it was talking about the water, and as soon as you walk out the morgue to the right, there's the towel that she thinks they did electrical torture in. I think it was where they gave birth. I'm just kidding.
The tub?
Birth tub. Yeah, birth tub. But like the way it's set up, it looked like it. It looked like it had the lighting, it had the leg stretch, it had everything. It was crazy. But once you go out there, it was kind of like, huh. And then you go back inside and then you feel it. And then like I kept walking in and out because I kept feeling like what is going through this door all the time. It's tripping off two devices as it comes in. And then every time I go out there and it felt like they were coming out, it was like, oh, this is different. Then you come back in. And then it's like saying names and all kinds of funny things. It's responding to what you're saying. And then I thought it was pretty cool how many answers she got when she was well, I'll let you tell that story.
When it also said your name.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah. All right, Tiff.
Scary.
Hit us with some words.
All right, so walking in initially.
All right, and now back to John. Okay, I'm kidding.
It did. No, I'm just kidding. It did have pork on the wall, but
that's what he thinks his name is.
No, that's what you said my name was.
That's right.
It actually said John and then pork on the wall, but it actually said my last name. But anyways, go ahead, Tiffany. Go ahead.
Are you sure? Because I can wait.
Yeah, go ahead. You're good.
I started gagging as soon as I walked in, which that was a given for anything that happened there. But we walked past the tub and I was like, I feel like they did electroshock therapy here. And I don't know why that popped into my head, but that was relevant for, I guess, a little bit later. Like John mentioned, they said water and stuff. But yeah, it was like there was a little kid there. I kept getting like a little boy, and at one point I got like white coats. And the answer I got after that, it was like the biggest validation I could have gotten like ever, and it was the coolest thing ever, and I'm still like riding that high from that validation of that. That was super freaking cool. And I can share or I can wait.
No, go. Go for it.
All right, so I was like, I see.
Like telling the stories is going to be completely different to when you watch it. Because like us talking, you'd be like, yeah, you're full of shit. Yeah. Watch it, and then you'd be like, oh, shit, okay.
So I kept getting like these visions of a doctor. He was in a white coat, and there was another assistant there, and I said, I keep seeing white coats. And we heard, Chuck actually heard, clear as day, like with your headphones on you had, right? You were like, did you just say yeah? Like whisper yeah? And I was like, no. He's like, you sure? And I was like, no. And we caught it, and it was caught on a few different angles. So the fact that was validated, like right off the rip, that was the coolest thing ever. That was amazing.
Yeah, because we had the auto enhancing headphones on, and we're in this. I wouldn't say it's a tiny room, but it's a small enclosed room, and I think I was the only one that heard that. Mm-hmm. And that's why I was like, so we called it out, like, hey, timestamp this so we can go back and review it, because I clear shit heard a response to her question.
Yeah, you even said it too. You're like, yeah.
Sure. And it's on cameras, multiple cameras.
We did go back to that. We looked at a couple things, and that was one of them, and we captured it. So I can't wait for you guys to hear that.
That's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Some of these responses were loud and clear. And it was like, holy crap.
I mean, after that happened, like John said, you could feel the temperature difference. So he called me over. He's like, hey, what do you feel? So I walked over and I was like, man, it's really cold over here. And then I just got like male energy. It doesn't have to be like grown male, but we kind of established that it was a kid, or at least that's kind of what we thought it was. I ended up kneeling down and I was like, well, I'm a mom. And for whatever reason, that just kind of made everything just like amplify. It was
Start working. Yep.
Yeah, it was just so freaking cool, and I was like trying to teach it how to like touch the REM pod, and I was like guiding it over. It was just really cool. It was a super surreal, just awesome experience to have that happen in real time, and then to have you guys see how I work was really cool. So like that was awesome. I just had it was such a great fun time.
There was literally a 8 to 10 degree difference.
Where I was at right next to me to her. I was at 69 degrees. She was at 61.
We had the millimeter, and I think you had your Solus that was telling us the temperature, and you could go, all right, this side is 61, this one's 69.
The Hades Eye was set to temperature only as well for that particular case. I just wanted to see what it would do. But I thought it was cool when she's like trying to get him to touch the Hades Eye, the REM pod, touch this, and it would respond back with the GS2. It would trigger that every time. She's like, "Can you touch this? Beep. You like that one more? Beep."
We had the GS2 set up at the only way into this room, and we kept getting hits.
GS2 and the Solus.
Something was either coming in and out of that room, or kept coming in and doing something and leaving.
And with 2 cameras in that direction covering that whole room, there was nothing behind our cameras. Maybe just me and you standing there when we got out of our way. But it was just like right there, and I'm looking for any movement, anything like that, to see if maybe we see one of the other team's flashlights or something coming down there. Nope, never. Because like you really got to walk into a room, then hook around into the room that we were in.
Yeah.
But still.
And we would have heard them coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we do have to go through all that and stare at a video of the red grid to see if anything alters there, because that'd be awesome. Crazy. That would be crazy. Validation is always exciting. That's why we do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why we do it. And then we'll call it Gag Fest, I guess, after the morgue.
That smell was so bad, though. If you're like, she's gagging for different reasons. I'm gagging because, like, I don't know if it was just like wet
you
farts
went
or
to
mold.
the bathroom.
I had to. Oh, you're talking about in the mansion?
No. It was after the morgue when we walked down we walked through the little hallway where all the nightgowns and stuff were there.
Yeah, right off when we went to the right, because we were talking about going
the
right.
The bathroom's at the other end. Yeah, that smell was that was rotten. Those stuffed animals were. Did you see the stuffed animals?
I didn't.
I think I got them on camera, but like just the smell and the look is making me just nauseous, throw up. It was. Man, I don't know how stuffed animals have pus on them. I really don't. That's what it looked like.
Hope nobody's eating right now.
Me.
And the plan was to kind of explore Adams Hall, which is kind of where we were at the base of it. Or no, not Adams Hall. It was
the nurses.
Oh no, it was Adams Hall. Yeah, no.
With those staircase?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But if you've ever been there, this place is huge. There's lots of hallways and doors. You get lost real easy.
The main hallway looks like it goes straight across, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't. No. And I don't know, thinking about it now, it's like maybe it was something pulling us this way, but we immediately ended up down the hallway into the nurses' station area. Where, holy shit.
It was magical.
It was amazing.
We got to hang out with the Tennessee Shadow Chasers for a bit. They were there
right?
Twice. Yeah, this was the first time. And it was kind of weird because they just happened to be walking through and we're like, hey. So we kind of got stuff set up, right? I'm focusing on the hall that I got the light anomaly last time. The hall that I think the feisty shadow guy that she said would like lunge at you or whatever.
She gave us a lot of those things, huh?
Well, I had my tripwires set up. I got their set up at the actual nurse's station with the GS2 and everything. We're just kind of, setting up shop for the most part. So the Tennessee Shadow Chasers come up, and we're kind of shooting the shit a little bit and doing what we do. And I decided I'm going to put my camera on that yellow chair right there in the left. And I had it leaning.
Was that before or after you heard me?
Before or after?
Yeah, when you thought you heard me walking down the hall?
Before.
Okay.
Yeah, before. All this, what I'm about to say with the camera and the stuff, all that happened at first. It wasn't until we went down to the end of the hall, towards the end, when we heard what we thought was you walking up and then sitting down in a chair. I think shortly after that, they left, and then we packed up and went over. I don't remember what we did after that. I don't know if we did a recharge. Whatever it was.
After the nursing station?
Yeah. I think we went back to headquarters for a
think so.
chill out session.
Because then when we went back, we went to the other place that we went before we went back to the nurse's station.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
yeah.
We're doing our thing. We'll check the camera footage. But I'm pretty sure that's what we did. So I think we'll get to that.
Yeah.
I set up my camera on that yellow chair, and I had it leaning specifically towards the chair, right? And I just kind of set it there, and I walked the length of this hall right here. And I just had my flashlight out, and I'm going all the way down to the end to see if, anything comes out or says hi or whatever. Now, preface this with, I set up the camera, and about 30 minutes of footage, this camera's fine. Right? Doesn't move, doesn't budge, doesn't wiggle, doesn't shake a little when you walk by. None of that. So I go down to the end of the hall, and I'm just saying, hey, you guys want to play a game? We got a bunch of toys down here. If you want to come on out and play with them. And at that moment, I hear a huge crash.
It was loud.
Coming from the nurse's station. So I look back, I'm like, what the hell was that? And everybody was kind of like, I have no idea. That's not you? I'm like, no. Like, what's going on? I can't remember who it was from the Tennessee Shadow Chasers, but they're like, what's your camera? The camera's like 5 feet away from the chair.
On the floor.
On the floor, yes. On the floor.
Like it took off.
I will mention, though, that John and I were still at the nurse's station because I was antagonizing. I shouldn't say antagonizing. Mm-hmm. That's a bad
talking
word.
About
I was talking
drugs.
shit. I was trying to get a rise out of the nurses there, and I don't know if that's what pissed them off enough to just weigh them, but
something did.
She was talking about putting fucking drugs in her IVs and all kinds of crap.
Yeah, mixing potassium and
straight potassium.
Orange juice or some shit. I don't know. So obviously, we're all excited to look at that footage to see, okay, did somebody bump into it? Was it slowly leaning and then it just finally kind of fell over? We watched it. This camera stayed perfectly still for a good 30 minutes. And then all of a sudden you kind of just see it go doo-doo and do a fucking cartwheel.
Just gotta go.
Into the middle of the hallway. You hear no footsteps or nothing or anything leading up to that. You just kind of see it go. But I am speechless. Because, that was cool. Luckily, my camera's fine. It didn't break. Offbeat Paranormal, what's up? Yeah, so my camera literally got thrown off the chair into the hallway. And if I'm not mistaken, shortly after that, because I had the Ovilus set up, Ovilus says camera.
And then a little bit after was mine.
And then a little bit later, I think the Spirit Talker said camera.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to get that put together so you guys can see it. Because, again, that's one thing that I can't debunk. Some will say, yeah, well, it just fell over.
No.
That was my first thought. My first thought was like, okay, you didn't lean it enough, and it just kind of just slowly just was leaning and then it finally toppled over. That's not the case at all. The footage is completely fine and straight. Well, not straight because I kind of leaned it into the thing so it's a little cockeyed, you can see. but for it to fall the way it did, there's no explanation.
It was crazy because her and I at
Technical
that
difficulties.
time we were what?
Offbeat said technical difficulties. You can hear us, right?
They were talking about, they were asked, I think they came in when we were talking about the camera issue. They didn't catch the fact that it was kind of tossed to the side.
Oh, okay.
We were both inside the nurse's station because at that point I had the GS2 inside there. She was off to the side at the Solus in the one window, the camera in the other window with the Spirit Talker app, and then K2s and Rooks. I was placing the Rook in there. And as soon as I put the Rook down, because she was stumbling through a bunch of paperwork, reading whatever the hell you can see in the dark like that. I don't know, bad eyes or something, sonar. And then all of a sudden we hear whack, and I'm like, oh, what the hell was that? And
Yeah, I
like,
thought he dropped something and it wasn't.
No,
obviously.
no. It was so loud.
Yeah. So that's exciting that was captured. I do wish we had like another camera facing that direction to kind of really put any doubt or question in the dirt. But
yeah,
something threw my camera. And that was kind of popped off after that, I would say.
Right after that, I was like, I wouldn't really actually like hurt a patient, and like I just had a whole like when we were there, we had stuff going off constantly too. I mean, with me kind of being a butthead and trying to get a rise out of things.
Which I loved. I love that, by the way. She's basically standing inside the station, the nurse's station, just saying that she's gonna basically poison everybody.
I'm gonna fire all these nurses. She was going off.
I was like, I'm the head nurse now.
And we're running around like code blue, code red. Like
one of the other teams was like, "You better respect Tiffany." It's like, I think she's scaring the shit out of everyone.
Yeah. Offbeat Paranormal, or did y'all see my guess? Yes, we did. Incorrect, wrong, and false.
All right.
Offbeat's going ham with the guessing of what the BB stands for, and I love it. That's still a thing, by the way.
Yeah. Yep.
Y'all
There's
know
been
the T
one
part.
person to guess it.
Yeah.
One person.
You don't count.
And no, well, he does. He put it all together.
So
it's
yeah,
random too, because he's the one that's least likely involved with any of this.
True. True.
And don't feel bad, because even Tiffany doesn't know, and she's in the team.
Yeah, we have not even shared it with her.
Just along for the
Here's
ride.
a hint. She's the T for BBT.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go. Biggest hint yet.
I had no idea.
You should. So as all this is popping off, and Tiffany's trying to kill everybody that's already dead, things throwing my camera and shit around, we kind of end up, I don't want to say like splitting off, but my focus was that hallway now. And the Tennessee Shadow Chasers kind of tag teamed with me for this hallway. You guys were doing your thing. I'll let you guys, if you guys want to talk about what you guys were doing and what you experienced, because I was not paying attention to what you guys were doing at that point in time.
She was just getting pissed. I mean, she was just pissing everything off. She was in the room rifling through shit, just throwing things around and
I didn't
cleaning
throw
this up,
anything.
and
I did
you're all
not do
fired.
that.
And then we got GS2 going off like crazy. I'm talking like so you got the window, the bar thing. I'm looking into the nurse's station. The GS2 is set up inside there going off. The grid's on the wall. I got the camera behind it on the GS2. I'm watching the screen starting to get fuzzy, and I'm watching things hit in multiple colors I've never seen this thing make before.
That's
and
cool.
she's just like, want a book? How about a cookie? Going into the back supply room, and she's pulling up biohazard bags, and it just... The only thing that didn't go off in there was the Rook on the far side. Everything else was going. The Spirit Talker was just like replying, answering. It was talking about what you were doing down there, talking about what she was doing in here. I don't know. Did you feel anything, see anything when you were in there?
I didn't really know. I mean, so yes, I guess. So when I first went in there, my weapons.
Yeah, the shit you were throwing.
I wasn't
Not to cut you guys
anything.
off. Not to cut you guys off, but I think I did most of this on YouTube with no mic.
Oh, all right.
I think I fixed it though. Hi, Offbeat Paranormal. That's what the technical difficulties was.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
I answered your question. I did. And to go back to, yes, we saw your guess. Incorrect, wrong, and false, I think I said. Everybody laughed because it's kind of funny. And then we said the T stands for Tiffany. She doesn't know what BB stands for either. Fuck the one guy who does know. Y'all are still trying to figure out what the BB stands for. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
They'll be able to watch it because hopefully it recorded right the why or why. Anyway, so I was starting to be kind of an ass. I was at first, I don't know why it even popped in my head to start antagonizing things, but I can't remember the name of the one prescription, but it said don't mix with anything else, and I saw that they would only give Tylenol. Like, it just seemed like Tylenol was their favorite drug to give these people. So I was like, well, what happens if I put this other thing that I can't remember now in the Tylenol? What's going to happen? And, like, I kept just feeding off of that, because it was just like, oh, I'm starting to tick somebody off. Like, I got aggravated, kind of, but, like, it was like an annoyance. So then, like, a lot of people don't know that I started to go to nursing school. So, like, I don't know everything, but I know a little bit of things, so I would start using like verbiage that they would use, and so eventually I was just like, what if I just put like potassium IVs for everybody? And if you don't know, that will off you. I don't want to say the wrong thing, get us blocked. But that will harm you. That is not good. Potassium chloride, I think is what it is the one that is basically for like dehydration and stuff, but straight up potassium is not good. So either way, so I kept on saying I was going to do that, and like every time I would say something really stupid like that, the GS2 would go off. And that's where the colors started going. And I'm just like, ooh.
It would have literally a cold motion, because nothing with heat can make anything turn blue on that. It would turn blue, it would go from the far half of the grid, come close, trip the EMF on it, make it a sound. It'll have light flashes, but the closer you get, the louder the sound. Make a sound and then travel back. Every time she would sit there and talk about killing something that's already dead.
So then eventually, I think it was at a point that after the camera got thrown, I was like, guys, I was just kidding. I'm not going to hurt anybody. But then I started messing around, and I was like, code blue in room 3, whatever I said. And then I realized that the room numbers were completely wrong that I was saying, but it didn't really matter at that point.
No. You said 312, and we were on the 3rd floor, because the room, it's funny, because room 303 was like, I was like, this room smells like piss. And then here you are in room like 313 sitting there going,
that's normal.
We were close with the 3.
Oh. What else? I mean, everything I said, I was like, I'm the charge nurse now. Everybody else has to listen to me. And I was given the biggest attitude. I didn't even care. And it was getting so much reaction from everything. And then all of a sudden I was just like, there was an African-American nurse here that wasn't a charge nurse, but she was in charge, wasn't she? And like, it just kept going from there, and it was the coolest thing.
And I think shortly after that, as far as what we were doing, we were trying to get the tripwire to go off, which had not gone off a single time up to this point. And to where they, Tennessee Shadow Chasers, were asking, like, going through each one of us, like, do you want Chuck to go down to the end of the hall? If so, light up the thing. Even included themselves on it, which I was like, if you get picked, you're going. If I get picked, I'm not going, type of situation. And I got to go back and look, because I don't remember what name she said, but half of the trip line lit up, like, going into the hall. And nice. That was the only time that the tripwire went off. Was that one time.
For that first part, right?
Yeah.
Because it was going off like crazy in the other half.
For this segment, because we do go back, spoiler alert, later. So now at this point, they bust out the digital recorder. We start doing EVP blast sessions, and they put it halfway down the hall, pretty much past, I think, that doorway there. And we were kind of standing about where we are here. And we captured several EVPs. Now I want to get the recordings from them if I could directly, um, just to hear it better. Trying to hear it through the camera recording, it's like it's loud and a little loud and hard to understand. But I would like to get that recording from them to actually break it down and hear it. Because at that point we actually end up going all the way down to the end of the hall, and with just my camera and digital recorder. I think we had the little flashlight. So we set it up down there at the end, and again we're asking questions. We're getting some responses. Again, it was there. It was hard to make out at that point in time, but there was some responses. And then at one point, we hear me in the Tennessee Shadow Chasers. We hear who we think at the time was John coming up said hallway,
Fat,
and then sitting in a chair, like he was joining us. And you'll see that, like, I turned the camera to look, right? There's nobody there, but you can hear it in the camera, the footsteps walking up, and then like the springs of a chair, like when you sit down. And we're all like, okay, that's because we all expected one of you to be joining us, because that's how clear the footsteps were, and then the sound of sitting in the chair right behind us. And I think at that time the mag light started going on and off too, in response to our questions and stuff. So
the mag light. So, did you believe it, or you're not buying it?
I didn't realize the flashlight was there until it went off. If that make, or like not, I knew the flashlight was there because it was on. I didn't know it was the on-off thing until it went off, and I was like, oh, okay.
So
I didn't really focus on it, I guess I should say, to put a I believe it or not. Does that make sense?
No.
No? You want me to grab the crayons and...
No, I just didn't know if you bought into it after that, because I know you're not a believer of them.
No, I did. I'm still where I was before.
All right.
And then?
And then we packed up and left, didn't we?
I think at this point we did.
Yeah.
We went back to headquarters and relaxed. Went to the bathrooms a bunch.
Yeah.
Had some donuts. Well, I had some
sticks.
donuts.
Then we were all tasting bug spray at this point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don't do bug spray.
Not worth it.
And after that,
Kept the bugs away, but...
True. But ingesting it was not worth it.
I kept John away for a minute there too. See that segue?
I think I ate some of it.
Because after our little break, we went to, I think they call it the administration building, right? The mansion, or I like to call it. And we're like, well, let's go check this out, because we got to go past it anyway, because we wanted to go back to the nurse's station. So we go to this building, and I think we get about 10 feet in, and John's like,
Here, take this. I'm out.
hands off his camera and just
Look,
dips out.
Go back. I'm like, something was burning. I had like that. I don't know if it's because the fresh paint or pneumonia smell or whatever the hell was going on, because they're remodeling that room. But like going inside there, I just like nasty taste in my mouth. My head started pounding, and then like massive acid reflux. And then I was like, I just walked back. I went back. I'm like looking in the woods. Don't fucking attack me. You don't want this. As I'm going all the way back to the place and get in there, I just pop a couple of Tums. Went pee-pee, and then got some water and came back. As I was walking back, I was like, the fresh air really helped me feel good. But then we walked back inside, and I was like, that smell started kicking in again, but I didn't have that nasty taste. And I really think it's because of that bug spray. You know, it was, for me, it was hot. I'm sitting there wiping, and yeah. And it's just, I don't know how much of that stuff I swallowed, but
We were caked in it. Like we were fully coated.
we needed it, though, because those bugs were pissing us off in the beginning. I mean, doing the intro was a bitch.
Yeah, I mean it just rained beforehand. So I want Tiffany, go ahead and share what you thought or felt about the building. If you
Not
would please.
much.
I only put you on the podium because of what happened at the end.
Me smacking my head off the ceiling?
You Tarantino'd it, but
Oh my
yes.
god. So we walk through and it was a really nice building. I can't say they did a really good job remodeling it. I don't know what it really looked like before, but I can only say what obviously like
Define remodeling, because I find someone who's 4'2" able to hit their head off of a ceiling is impossible.
not in there yet. And it was not impossible. I'm really impressed that Chuck didn't smack his head off the freaking ceiling and I was the one that did it. But
Yeah,
anyway.
but he's used to ducking through everything.
Yeah, but like good lord.
I should share too that I hit my head the last time, so
I mean,
I learned.
I was opening doors and stuff, and I'm like, ooh, what's this? And like opening up stuff. I didn't care. But we go up to the attic, and it was like a really creepy vibe up there. That was probably the only place that I really had that like, ooh, I don't know if we should be up here kind of feeling. And it was just like overall weird in itself because of like the shelves that they have along the back of it with all of the toys and stuff that they had. And it was like, oh, this is really like awkward. But I found like old letters and stuff from the 70s, which was really cool. That was like letters to like people's families. But like the way that you go up these stairs, like anybody could frickin' just, God, it was awful. So you go up like the first set, and then you're like, okay. But then you come around and you have to like go like this and go backwards and like completely
Yeah.
like 360 yourself. And the ceiling is freaking damn near on top of the stairs. Like I had to practically bend in half just to get up the stairs. Apparently I didn't bend enough to get down them because when I was going down, I I wailed my head off of the freaking beam and I
It
hit
was
hard. But it's ironic because when we were walking around the attic, I was like, man, I'm getting lightheaded. And Chuck didn't feel good, if I recall, too. You kind of had that weird feeling.
Yeah, like I was out of breath.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, by the time we were down the stairs, I really was lightheaded. I stood there for a second.
I got my core workout, and she knocked her couple brain cells together.
It was
But
bad.
no, she hit it hard, and like to the point where like I felt it in the stairs, and I was like, "Are you okay?" And I asked her like 3 or 4 times. And I'm like,
He
"Dude,
did.
that you hit it." You
And I
hit
played it
hard,
up. I was
dude.
like, I'm good.
She's like, "No, I'm fine." Cross-eyed and everything else. I'm like, "Okay, keep an eye on you." But I think by the time we ended up back downstairs, you had come back, and yeah, that
Yeah, you guys were coming down the stairs when I walked back in there, and
wasn't a
then
whole
we
lot
left.
with that building at all, except like I said, the attic was really the only part where
I mean, I don't know why we just didn't stay in that building.
you know what?
Every bedroom had its own bathroom and 9 sinks.
We should have.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I think it was still warm in there, and I think
Oh, that's true.
we would have had
That
to
is
find the
true.
AC, and I don't know if she said the AC and all that was working or not.
I think that's where they go for their lunch breaks and stuff.
Yeah,
I could be wrong,
they did a great job with it though.
but that is where Uplinger or whatever his name is. That's where his ashes would have been put.
In that building,
Yep, that's where all the remodeling was, and that was the building. The story of him, which is not. He was the head maintenance guy, and he was there doing everything from the start. And what's our evidence? Evidence. He, yeah, he was working on the room, and what he did was not feel good, so he went home early that day. And then, so I got 2 different stories. I got one thing where he went home that day, and then he was dead the next day. He just didn't feel right, just died. And then, they cremated him and put his ashes in the plaster and put it up on the wall. But the other one, the other story is that he went home, and one of the other maintenance guys, they were all pretty close friends. He kept checking on him for about 6 days. And eventually he died. He kept getting worse and worse and worse, and he finally gave in because he was stubborn, didn't want to go to the doctor. Then he ended up going in, and then he died. They put him in there. They didn't say why he died. I mean, I know he was older. I didn't think he was that old. The way they made it seem like he was in his late 60s. But but I guess he was a heavy drinker, which when you work with chemicals and you drink a lot, you really don't get the chance to I don't know how painters do it, but that place there, I guess, is protected by him. From what I've been reading and seeing and what she was saying at the time.
Did they mix his ashes in with the mortar of the
walls
the
and stuff
foundation and stuff?
Yeah.
It was still a cool house, and like I said, it's the original building still. It's not like they were like tore down walls or anything that I can remember. But the fact that it's the actual shell back in the day was pretty cool to walk into that. And then what did we do after that? I'm trying to remember. Did we go right back to the?
We went to the third.
To the
no,
nurse's
third
station?
was last. Then we called it a night.
Yeah,
after
we
the third
ended
floor.
at the
So then we did go back to the nurse's station. No, we called the
We
night
went
at the
at the
nurse's
nurse's
station.
station. Yeah.
We did go to the third floor and the one.
So we went to Adams Hall and we went to the third floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Up by the elevator and all that jazz. But you know the fucked up part is she was saying that the second floor, the fourth and the fifth floor were getting tons of activity, more so than the third. She thought, but we got some pretty darn good stuff on that third floor.
Yeah.
That's where we ran to the Tennessee.
The Shadow Chasers met us there again.
I'm like, ooh, what's this device?
Yeah, just big giant 5-story building on the opposite end of like headquarters, and there they come. I was like, wow, fancy meeting you here.
That was where I saw the flashlight, and because I was like, "There's a light coming from the like down the hall," and you were like,
That
"Well, go
was
see,"
awesome.
and I'm like, "What the hell? No!"
You see it, you go find it.
So I do have to say something about that, because I was talking to my grandma, because that was one of the things that kind of stuck out to me from at least that part of it, and she was like, "How was it?" And I was like, "Oh, it was really cool." And I said, "I saw a flashlight, and there was like nobody there. We thought it was like another group, but they were nowhere to be found. Like we were alone in this part of the building for a while." And she was like, I worked in a lot of hospitals back then, and I was like, okay, like I'm not sure where she was going with it at first, because like that's just my grandma. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And she goes, we used to use flashlights at night, like the night shift would use flashlights to not disturb the patients. She's like, I wonder if that's what you saw, was maybe like them flashing the flashlight down the hallway so you don't disturb the patients. She's like, because it was late, right? And I said, yeah, it was about 2-ish, maybe 1-ish, 1 something. She was like, yep, I can guarantee you it was probably that, because back then, especially in the 60s, they would use flashlights, so they didn't, when we would like change linen or bring linen in or something, she's like, that's what we did. And I was like, you know what, you
That's
might be
pretty
onto
cool.
something. Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, at least he didn't threaten any nurses there.
No, I think I probably would have gotten thrown down the stairs.
I was waiting for that elevator door to open up behind me.
That would have been
Honestly,
awesome.
I don't know why. I was just like, as goofy as it sounds, if you ever played the Resident Evil games, it's the elevator door opens and boom, there's the nemesis. It's like, run. Most people would have gone Silent Hill, but I didn't get that with the way all the destruction was in that.
Yeah.
That building was trashed.
It's pretty beat up and run down. So if you do go, be careful, especially in Adams Hall. Could be pretty dangerous depending on where you go. So just be aware of your surroundings. There's parts where like the ceiling mesh is hanging down so low that you could run right into it.
And there's parts where
If
there is
you're
no
not-
ceiling.
That too. Yeah. Yeah.
No, that third floor, that dead bell was going like crazy. The only place it went off was up there.
True.
The
That's
dead
true.
bell going off. The GS2 is going off like crazy. She did her tarot reading. How is that? How'd that go?
I thought
For
that
you.
was freaking cool. I wasn't sure how it was going to go initially, just because like it seems like it's such a religious place, and as I've disclosed before, religion doesn't like tarot. So I was really expecting it to be really negative, but it really wasn't. And like the things that started coming in, and I really tried to articulate it for you guys, because I know that I really suck at that a lot of the time. But
Talking?
well, yeah, like telling you what's in my head, not going because I can't talk, but
Autocorrect?
autocorrect. But I really tried to make sure that I was articulating what cards I was pulling, what was coming through while I was doing it, and connecting with, I think we got Mary off of the Ovulus, and that's kind of what I rolled with. But connecting her and seeing like her granddaughter, or what I would imagine to be her granddaughter, visiting her on her deathbed was really cool. I got kind of a description of her, like with her. I mean, seems super generic, but like she didn't have a walker or anything, but she had like gray hair, white gray hair. It was kind of like that poofy style that those ladies had back then. And she had her little sweater on. But it was really cool to like see all of that. But it ended up being that she only I got that she had a son, and that I think that she had either a miscarriage or a stillborn baby, just from everything that was coming through. And it was kind of sad, and I kind of felt like when I do stuff like that, like I really feel connected with the people that I do things like that with, because like they're giving me snippets of their actual life, like when they were alive and how they felt and stuff. I did kind of get sad, not gonna lie, but that was really cool. It went a lot smoother than I thought it would, and having the reactions from like the different devices that we had when I was hitting on key terms or key things, or like the energy would spike like super duper high, like when I would hit, like when I would say something, like John kept reading off like the energy levels and stuff. It was really cool.
Yeah, I got up to a 6, which is so with the way the Solus works, with the way I've been testing it, multiple different things, whether it's batteries, actual electricity or electrically magnetically charged devices that I have for tools and stuff like that. I have only got it to go to an 8 one time, never hit a 10, but an 8 one time, and that's when I had both. Well, I had a lot of tools connected to it that I used to work on cars and stuff. A lot of tools, and it went off that way. But on its own, naturally, bringing it by things, put it by phones, like microphones, speakers, whatever's in here, I've never got it to go above 4. It went off to a 6 a couple times during that reading. It was pretty damn cool. And I got it marked. I got it marked on my little thumb drive in here. And I say that to my computer because I want to go back to that camera time and look at that, see what did it. And then after that, because the Tennessee girls, they weren't there during the tarot reading, right? It was after.
It was after that, because I took out the dowsing rods right after that, and that's when they showed up, and I asked them if they were there flashing their flashlights, and they were like, no.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
because it was a good 15, 20 minutes after you saw the light that they actually come up there.
Yeah, at least.
So, yeah,
it was.
I don't think
that was pretty cool.
It was. I do have to take a quick bathroom break, so you guys carry on. I know you hate this part.
Carry on.
My wayward son. Anyway, it was cool. I mean, I used my actual tarot deck instead of the spirit deck, so I don't know if that made a difference, but that was pretty cool to see.
What's the difference between the two? I don't know.
My Lightseer's deck is more of like the common cards that you see, like the 4 suits of the major arcana cards, and then you divide it into like the different categories, which is the cups, wands.
For those of us that have no idea what the hell you're saying,
Pentacles and oh my god, cups, wands, pentacles. Why am I drawing a blank?
is one deck more like complicated than the other?
My spirit deck is a little bit more complicated. It has different meanings. Like the Lightseer's deck, like I said, has like the common cards, which is you can find in any like Rider-Waite deck, the original tarot deck. Those are like more common, more studied, I guess. You see them a lot for tarot readers. The other kinds of decks, they don't really delve into too much usually. That's why I don't really use my Ghost and Spirit deck, because it's not that it's too complicated, but it's just not what I'm looking for. Like, they're a little harder to read, and that's why I needed the book for those ones.
So you get different reactions out of different decks?
But yeah.
Like let's say, for people, like if you were to read mine, can you use different decks and literally get different reactions out of each one, but they don't usually go down the same path of answers?
Okay, so let me answer it kind of in a long roundabout way, because it's kind of a complicated, I guess, answer. Like, the spirit deck would focus on something more for, like, the stuff around you, I guess. Like, your spirit guides or, like, the spirits around you type thing. That's how I would use those cards to read. But if you use, like, the Lightseer's deck or, like, a Rider-Waite deck, you can ask the same question or have the same thought process and have pretty much the same result. And it doesn't have to necessarily be the same cards, but it'll be in a different way. I don't know if that makes sense. It doesn't now that I think about it. But, like,
I'd have to have you do it for me to physically... I learn faster with visuals, but still, I mean, they have different purposes, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And you can use 2 different decks and still have the same outcome, I guess is what I'm trying to say, but it depends on what purpose you're using them for.
Cool.
Totally.
Cool. All right. So where are we at now? We're leaving Adams Hall, correct?
Yes.
That was our second. Oops. Shush you. So yeah, we kind of got to hang out with Tennessee Shadow Chasers again, which is pretty cool. They were super awesome. And cool. We decided to go back to the nurses' station, hospital, whatever you want to call it, and kind of bust out all the tools, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had the motion sensors out, the music box was out, trip line was out, GS2 was out, Solus was out.
No static setups.
We had your grid set up.
Yeah, the grid was set up, the tarot cards came out, everything. We had the puck out.
I thought this was the second part, but I totally forgot. It was from the first time we were in. And so we're going to rewind a little bit to the first time we were at the nurses' station. It was after the camera got thrown. And unbeknownst to me, like through the little screen, it looked like everything was fine, but the camera was kind of blurry after it fell, which I was able to kind of fix. But I was just going down, like in the center there, looking down each hallway with the camera. And then the one hallway I go to is when I realized that the focus is all jacked up. So I'm sitting there farting around with it.
I was going to say something about this.
And I hear footsteps behind me. And I believe the Tennessee Shadow Chasers were with us still at that point, the first time. And as I turn to look, I see 2 legs go into a room. And my first thought was like, okay, was that one of them? Because it just looked like light-colored pants from what I saw. So I kind of turned on them like, I don't hear any other footsteps now. Like, it just seemed weird, right? So I go and I look into the room and I'm like, okay, there's a little cubby hole or cutout in the wall. And I was like, okay, it can't go that way. I'm like, I literally just saw somebody walk into this room. And you could hear the footsteps of it walking. And then you could see me like look back real quick. And that's when all that happens. I wanted to throw that part in there because I forgot about it. Because I thought it was part of when we were there the second time, but then I realized it wasn't. It was from the first time. So, second time here at the hospital station, nurses station, and got everything set up. And all of a sudden, the trip line, what?
Are you sure it was the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, because the second time we literally prepped for that purpose.
Yeah, we threw the trip line down that hallway specifically. Okay. Because that's what threw me off too. And I was like, no, we had the trip line there. No, that was the first time. So, yeah, we immediately down that hallway, right outside that room I saw somebody go into. That trip line starts just moving. moving. And did it quite a bit. And it was like not the same pattern every time, which tells me that it was like something was triggering it. Instead of like batteries were dying or some shit. It was like every other one, and then the ones that it wasn't, it was just a weird combination for it to be a defect or low batteries or something is what I'm trying to get to. We would say, can you come down this hall? And then sure as shit,
here it would come.
Here it would come. Trying to remember what else had happened that second round. You guys remember anything that stood out?
A lot of the GS2, there's just a lot of device activities, and then like, we do have, I think, didn't we have that one? I can't remember if that was the morgue or that one. I could picture it at both locations for some reason, but there was the one where that noise, like that whisper.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure it was that one there. We had a pretty good one there because like I remember sitting down in the chair. At this point, we were like, it was like what, 3 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah, we were getting
We were sitting there and we had the tripwire going like crazy into the one area, and then oh no, it was down the hall the other way. We all kind of stopped and looked down the other hall because we're facing down the one way, and we stopped and we just did one of those. We're like, wait, what? But there was nobody else. Where was everybody else at this time?
So we were all separate still. Nobody joined us at the second time. We were the first ones back, I think, too.
To what? The nurse's station?
Base.
I think the Tennessee Shadow Chasers were there when we got there.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, their cars were there. I think it was more along the lines of the second time around was we were just trying to find that shadow in the room. We're going to have to watch that footage, and I'm pretty sure we got a lot of EVPs on that one, because I kept hearing shit in the headset like crazy. Like, I kept doing one of those. A lot of the devices were going off. The Spirit Talker app was actually pretty on point with what she was talking about, and the Obelisk and everything else. But I don't know what to expect when we go back and watch this, because like even like our digital recorders and everything else too, they picked up so much stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the spirits were talking that night for sure. You know, whether it was audible or getting those EVPs, like who knows what you guys caught on those watches?
Watches, yeah.
You know,
there's there's some stuff on those watches.
It's a lot of listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, just transfer it all over to the computer and put it all on there, and maybe have a couple of shorts put up with a bunch of EVPs and stuff on there.
I started listening briefly to mine. I found the from the morgue on the watch. It came through clear as day.
Yeah. There's no way that was a person.
No.
There's not.
No, it was close. Like when we listened to it back on the camera, it was like in the room with us.
Yeah.
It was that loud.
There's no, that had to have been on the way back, because we drove the fog.
Oh.
That was iconic. Like that was picture perfect.
We should have got all that on camera too.
Literally driving down the back road, and it's starting to fog up, and the road we're on, it's kind of up on a little hill. And as we're driving, I got my brights on. Did you see the fog just rolling up over the hill? We were driving through it. It was beautiful. Yeah, I wish I would have got that on camera, or at least taken a picture of it, because that was cool. But overall, it was a great fucking night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, awesome. And again,
I think so.
As you saw, and like I said before, the place is so big, like you don't even get to scratch the surface. You know, we didn't go into the power plant. We didn't go into the laundry room. We didn't get up onto the rooftop to do our Skinwalker watch. That didn't happen. Before you know it, you're just like, holy shit, we were in there for 3 hours. Because there's just so much shit that was going on. Can't just be like, all right, our time's up. We got to go somewhere else.
No.
You ride it out.
I do feel bad, though, because I really did want to go on that Skinwalker hunt.
That would have been cool. And I wonder if they did get up there.
I know I wanted to catch up with Tim afterwards, but in the morning we had to get out. Like, we had to go.
Yeah, well, one's got to drive back to New York, and one was also in a little bit of pain. There was a lot of walking, and hand got pretty swollen, So it was time. We didn't want to knock on doors and be like, "Hey, good morning, we're leaving." I do feel bad because I did want to collab with them, both of them, a little bit more.
If we didn't happen to come across them at the timing, we never saw them. Never saw anybody. That's how big this place was.
Matter of fact, I don't think we didn't see the paranormal girls, ... and Tim until we were headed back to base.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and we just all of a sudden hear some talking. We're like, "Did you guys hear that?" We're like, "Hello?" And they're like, "Hello." Like, oh shit. So they were still up and at him, which kudos to that. But it was like we were already done. It's like, well, shit. And I think even when we pulled up to base, headquarters, we're like, I think we should go back. But I think we were just both like, I'm not making it. I can't do it again. I can't go again.
We were so overtired. We didn't end up. It was.
Yeah.
I think we laughed ourselves to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You guys were like having a sleepover in high school again.
Giggle fest all fucking night. I was waiting for them to be like, shut the fuck up.
That was you. You were yelling at us.
Shit.
And then you hit your head, and I'm like fighting it. Don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh. I'm on the floor. You're on the bed. She's on the couch. I'm like, please don't laugh, don't laugh. Just go to sleep. Go to sleep.
The Tennessee Shadow Chase. They were in there. They were in one of those rooms. I'm like, I'm waiting for them to be like, dude.
I think they were across the hall from
shut
us.
The fuck up. But yeah, and then I don't know, maybe like 20, 30 minutes after that, we heard the other team come in and we shut it down. But yeah, so sorry to Paranormal Girls, ... and Tim. Maybe one day we will be able to do something together. I think this place was just too big and shit started popping off that, yeah.
We gotta get them on a podcast so we could get their stuff too and talk to them.
We do. I would love to do it for them and for the Tennessee Shadow Chasers.
I don't care if we go on their podcast or they come on ours.
I don't care either. Maybe we'll reach out, send an email or something next couple of days here. That'd be cool. I'm interested to see like what did you guys experience and stuff. Where was your hot spot?
They've been there quite a bit of times, haven't they? They said both parties.
Paranormal Girls ... and Tim. But they only did a walking tour, I think. So they didn't actually do an overnight investigation. That was their first time. But the Tennessee Shadow Chasers, they've been there a few times. I think five or six, I think.
Yeah,
I think Audra was there.
Yeah.
A lot.
What was that?
I think it was Audra that was there quite a few times.
Yeah. But no, it was cool. I mean, I was even more excited that they were there when the camera got thrown and the EVPs and everything else. Like,
yeah,
that was cool.
It was an awesome time all around.
Cool.
I forget my camera. You get yours broken by a ghost.
Mine died.
Yeah, yours died right away.
Well, we did all right. We got a lot of footage to go through. But we are currently finishing up the camper video, which should be coming out soon. Actually, I'd probably drop the first episode if we wanted, but...
Yeah, probably. We'll make sure there's nothing we're missing.
Yeah, it's a two-parter, so just FYI.
And upstairs and a downstairs. Either way, everyone's puking.
But yeah, next time we will sit down first.
Which means like as a group.
Oh, okay.
Instead of just kind of dispersing in the beginning. Just, hit you square in the forehead.
Not as hard as you hit yours.
I knocked some sense into myself that day.
Timmy.
So yeah, awesome time. Indiana State Sanatorium. Just crazy activity. Can't wait to get it together so you guys can see it. Because holy crap. You won't believe it unless you see it. Well, you're going to see it.
Then we're going to have the next podcast is going to be on the big old pregame.
Yep, next podcast is going to be the
National
pregame.
Roads weekend coming up.
Got a back-to-backer and cannot wait to get into that. So stick around for that.
Me for a whole weekend. I do got to show that I'm wearing this shirt. That is,
it's not a guarantee, you know that, right?
What?
You may be on the team.
It's not a guarantee we're spending the whole weekend with you, right?
Oh, okay. Just leave me on the roof somewhere.
Lock the front door.
Oh, okay. I'll climb through a window.
Sure, there's crawl underneath it.
True.
There's no threshold.
Yeah, keep an eye out for that one. You guys got anything else to add before we...
No, I'm good.
Get situated and ready for the pregame. All right. Well, thank you all for watching. We will catch you on the next one. Adios, amigos. All right. Until next time, John, play us out.
Do what now? Oh.